Hello, everyone. So my name is Kimberly Streeter. I don't mind if you guys call me Kimberly or Kim. I really don't have a personal preference, whichever one you feel comfortable with. I answer to both. Where did you earn your undergraduate degree? Was it and what was your major? Excuse me. So I first attended Pasadena City College straight out of high school. I then transferred on an athletic scholarship to the University of Texas at El Paso, also known as UTEP. I received my bachelor's in liberal arts with a concentration in multidisciplinary studies. The reason why I got a multidisciplinary study degree was I was able to focus on whatever subject I wanted to learn more about, and I decided to focus on English. I actually wanted to be a high school English teacher in California, and I knew I just needed a degree, so that's what prompted me to actually obtain that bachelor's degree. What is your current employment? So I am currently a life skills and academic success coach. I work at the community college level with freshman students transitioning from high school into college. I help them with different types of issues that they may have as far as time management, study skills, finances, and budgeting. As we all know, that's an issue, especially when you're a freshman coming in. How to have appropriate dialogue with parents or maybe caregivers, being that a lot of our students are 18 now, or some of them are 17, but how do they transition into being an adult? So that's what I have been doing for the past 3 years. In 2014, I actually took on as that's my daughter. I'm sorry about that. I took on as the athletic success coach, working with primarily our freshman student athletes, basically helping them transition as student athletes at the collegiate level. So what would be your ideal employment? Honestly, this is my dream. I want to focus on helping student athletes understand what life after sports looks like by helping them focus on their career, major, and educational goals. For most athletes, they believe that they will figure everything out after they're done competing. However, they don't understand that after competition can be over with just like that. And as we know, that involves injuries, eligibility, life just happens. So I definitely want to help them start thinking about that process right now. And since they're in school, what better way to do that is by what do they want to be when they grow up, and which leads them to the major that they actually go into. So aside from working with collegiate athletes, another dream of mine is to start this process off early with our student athletes, and that is by reaching the middle school demographics as well as the high school. So if we have these conversations early with them, understanding that, yes, I understand that you want to go pro. I'm never going to tell an athlete that they're not going to go pro, but what I am going to do is I'm going to ask them questions to start thinking about what are they going to do after sports, after they go pro. What are they going to do to prolong that big house in the hills and those houses for their mother and family members and things like that? What are they going to do? So that's my main focus. And my last focus as far as my ideal employment is to definitely work with organizations that work with professional athletes right now and helping them begin the process of transitioning from being a professional athlete into a general individual. So I think that's really, really big. So what are your strengths in the area of sport and law? So in last season, I was actually a assistant women's basketball coach for our community college, and I was required to go through hours of training as well as take the state's coaching exam for California. So I had to understand the bylaws and the laws of coaching in California as far as recruitment goes and what you can and cannot do as a coach. So I found that that was very important, just because they do they do pay really, really close attention to that. So that's as close as I've gotten so far as the laws and coaching go. As far as the law and working with students, I am a a reporter. So if the students tell me anything that is going to be a threat to themselves or a threat to someone else, I have to report that. And then I also keep within the confidential or the confidentiality law as far as them being 18, and then whatever they disclose with me, I am not able to disclose that with anyone else without their permission. Again, unless it's not, they're not being a harm to themselves or someone else. So what are your challenges in the area of sport and law? I think that since I don't know too much about it, I think that my challenge is going to be fully understanding in depth the laws, especially since this is a accelerated course. I know that this class is going to take a lot of time, a lot of reading, but I know that this is really important for me to understand if I'm going to work with more clientele as well as their families. So list 3 expectations you have for yourself during this course. The first expectation I have for myself is to stay focused and determined to get through all the readings. I am not gonna lie, I'm usually a skimmed reader. I talk really fast and I read really fast, but I know with this class I'm gonna have to sit down and actually concentrate and understand these cases and the law in depth so that I don't make any mistakes when I venture off into my future employment. My second expectation is to ask a lot of questions. So when I don't understand something, I have to be willing to ask a lot of questions, and trust me, I will ask questions just because, again, this is a very impactful course that, like Professor Robles said, we are going to be studying things that are happening right now. So that's really important. Last thing, I expect to have fun, and I look forward to meeting all of my new classmates, hearing all of you guys' perspectives, and helping me understand and broaden my horizons as well. Thank you, and God bless.